Let me give you my 5 gotchas of money. By the way, this is the presentation and subject that I was talking to Nurses Week in 2012. And in the middle of that, guess who was listening? Sheena Helon, my now wife, because she was a Stryker medical sales rep selling hospital beds for Stryker Medical. So this conversation about the 5 gotchas of money is what I educate people on how to avoid the 5 gotchas of money in planning for your retirement. I've been talking about this since 2006, 2007, because I lived the Great Recession. I lived through ups and downs of the stock market, ups and downs of interest rates, ups and downs of the real estate market, ups and downs of people, good money, no money, jobless, laid off, 401k, 201k, $300,000 house become a $200,000 house with a $250,000 mortgage on it. This was birthed. This 5 gotchas of money was birthed through chaos. First one you got to avoid is got to avoid losses. No matter what you got going on in saving money for your financial future, avoid losses at all costs. How much more of your rate of return, Adam, right? If we were to remove every year that somebody lost money, because you have a 10% loss in 1 year, you need an 11, 12% return the next year just to get you back what you lost in that first year. And then 2 years just went by. If you suffered a 25% loss, like we did in 2022, as a 22% loss, you need a 35% rate of return just to get you back to square one. So in other words, whatever you lost, you need a 35% return just to get back to square one that you did 2 years ago, that you were at 2 years ago. So if you can avoid losses altogether, not only do you save yourself some heartache, but you save yourself a lot of time. Well, Matt, so you cap the upside, you cap the potential. You do. Inside index universal life products, index annuities, you cap the upside to guarantee what? No downside risk. The 5 gotchas money strategies are based on safe money strategies afforded by the longest and tenured and wealthiest and richest industry in America, which is the life insurance industry. So you got to avoid losses. Number 2, healthcare. The average person today will need about $400,000 in healthcare because the number one reason why people file bankruptcy is because of change in health. You want to make sure that you have enough money set aside also for healthcare. Inside our policies, we have what we call critical or living benefits with inside the life insurance policies we set up, which a Roth IRA does not. It's a completely different structure. Roth IRAs, especially if you plan to make money. If you're part of the 7-figure squad, I'll tell you this right now, you can't afford to put money inside a Roth IRA. You make too much money. What's their next alternative? A maximum funded, minimum death benefit, structured-wise, index universal life policy with upside potential, no downside risk. And when you decide to pull that money out, whenever you decide to pull that money out, you don't pay a dime in tax. You don't have any pre-59 and a half withdrawal penalties, none of that stuff. So losses, healthcare to avoid. Number 3. Are the 5 gotchas of money. Taxation. 3 tax buckets. Tax now, tax later, or tax never, tax advantaged. Without me even going into details, which category would you rather have your money in? Tax now, tax later, or tax never, tax advantaged? I'm here all day long, baby. I can't tell you right now, based on the time I have in this live stream, but stay posted for future episodes and how we do it. We might even do a live stream, a live webinar, Zoom, and we break this down. Number 4. So first one is losses, second one is healthcare, third one is taxation, fourth one is inflation. You have to have your money grow and exceed, or your salary grow and exceed what inflation is. Thank God I got involved in business, because guess what I was able to do? I was never impacted by inflation. What Biden did to this country, I was never impacted by inflation detrimentally. Now, did I see the higher gas prices? Yes. Did I see higher cost of goods and services? Yes. But I wasn't impacted detrimentally as the rest of America, because I chose, well, I was a renter, to reinvest that money into my business. And eventually, because we were renting with purpose, we eventually became homeowners here in Frisco, Texas. Now this is considered the rising and coming new downtown of Dallas. They're calling it DFFW, Dallas, Frisco, Fort Worth. So whatever you got your money going into, your savings and investments, your income, it's got to be inflation. Otherwise, you get got. And for those of you like to travel, make sure you never travel to number 5. You never travel to this country. You never travel to this nation. Never take your passport here. Never visit here. Why? Because in this country, in this nation, in this population, dreams go to die. Talent is buried. Aspirations never see the light of day. Why? Because this nation is called procrastination. As in procrastination. You know what you need to do, but you don't do it. You know why? Fear kicks in. I had a talk last night with somebody who was very excited to go in business. I met them 30 days ago. Man, I'm so excited to go in business for myself. I'm 59 years old. I don't have any money for retirement. You know, we need more. We deserve more. My kid's getting married. It's thinking about renting one of our properties, but man, we're stuck. All of our money's trapped up inside equity. Hello, keep the keys. And I called her. All right, where's your license? Did you get I was just rethinking about this thing. Well, what happened? What happened for 30 days ago? You're so pumped up and excited. What happened? Well, if I'm going to be honest with you, fear kind of kicked in. Fear, but you're a woman of faith. Fear kicked in, huh? How many times in the Bible does God say, do not fear? 365 times. In other words, for every day of the week, remind yourself, do not fear. For God says, I'm the Lord your God. All things, right? All things through Christ. All things through Christ. But she forgot about that when it came to her business. It came to her money. Because I was feeding my fear. I wasn't feeding my faith. Every other time you're feeding your faith, how come you weren't feeding your faith when it came time to business? You know why? Because when it comes to finance, when it comes to money, okay? When it comes to dealing with procrastination, I believe that this is actually one diluted form of a sin. Because you know what you're supposed to do. God showed you the way. He gave you the resource, gave you the opportunity, gave you the divine appointment. And then what? Nothing? Come on, you're better than that. Seriously? Listen, man. I've been there, dude. I've been there, done it, man. It's just a muscle I learned how to blast past. The moment you have that natural desire to say no, you ought to do something that puts you in a physical state to say yes. Listen, I can't tell you every day of my days I'm fired up, excited to do what I do, but listen, I do something physically, spiritually to get me past that, because that's the enemy at work too as well. You don't think the enemy has you on their radar? You want to do something big in your life? You don't think the enemy knows that, wants to put you on the radar? Because the moment you see something that God has purpose for your life, knowing that you're about to push back the gates of hell, guess what the enemy's doing? Do you think the enemy is a strong work ethic too? You think you got a strong work? You think God's got a strong work ethic? The enemy's got a stronger work ethic than most people. 24/7, he's looking to steal, kill, and destroy your God-given dreams and talents and abilities. And where they love to hang out is this country here called Procrastination. Matter of fact, you don't even need a passport. Go there, free access. Everybody's broke, if not physically dead. They're buried, talents and dreams and goals buried in the ground. Because what happens when you don't know everything, but you have the faith to still take that step forward? Lord, I don't know, but maybe I need to buy a house. Maybe I need to rent, but you don't do anything about it. You stay stuck. God don't want you stagnant. He wants you constantly in motion, not lukewarm, either hot or cold, but not lukewarm. He'll spit you out to his mouth. He wants you hot or cold. You choose. If you like that clip, watch the next one over here. To watch the full-length episode, click over here.